Hi, everybody. My name is Sue Sirek, and I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade English Language Arts. This is my 13th year teaching at St. Joe's. I started when my youngest daughter was in kindergarten, and now she's a senior in high school. All four of my children went through St. Joe's, and it is just home to me. So I'm so happy to be here and to be spending this school year with all of our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about English Language Arts in middle school, and then show you some places where you can find some information. So English Language Arts, we call it ELA, focuses on several different areas. We study spelling, grammar, vocabulary development within spelling, and reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So there are lots of areas to cover in English Language Arts. So I'm going to go to the 7th grade Google Classroom page. So your child has a Google Classroom page. This is my Google Classroom page that you are seeing, but theirs is very similar. It has all of their classes on it, and they can access any of those classrooms. One of the ways is once they log in, there's usually this little classroom button up at the top, and they can just click on that to get to their classroom. Then to go to ELA, they just click on their class. I'm going to show you 7th grade ELA because both 6th grade and 8th grade are set up the same way. So I always tell the kids to go to their classwork tab because things are just organized a little bit better there, and you can see things a little bit better when you're looking for something. And so the first thing I want to tell you about, I just want to tell you about some general pieces of information. So if you scroll down, if your child scrolls down to this links section on the bottom, there's a lot of good things to find there. So a lot of good information. So first of all, this 7th grade homework calendar. So I have each grade's homework calendar linked on their ELA Google Classroom page. So 6th grade has a 6th grade homework calendar. 8th grade has the 8th grade homework calendar, and they can use that to look at what assignments that they have in each of their classes. So they should be using their planner. We are really encouraging them to be using their planner to write down all of their homework, but this is another place that they can check if they forgot something. They can check here. So they just click on it, and then they click on the link, and it will bring them to their homework calendar. And as you can see, all the teachers put their homework there on each day. So all they need to do is click on that class, and then it will give you a description of what is due. If there's not a due date on there, it will be due the next day. Okay, so that's a great place. If you are a 7th grade parent, I also sent you an email with a link to that classroom calendar, so you may access that calendar there as well. So that is important. And then the other important link here is I do have a TADS Educate. It's kind of hidden. Here we go. TADS Educate tab. And right now you're only seeing the login page. So you can go to TADS Educate if you are wondering if your child is missing an assignment, or if you want to check what their grade, where their grade is, you can check TADS Educate. And also, I really encourage that you share your username and password with your child as well, so that they can begin monitoring their classes to see if they're missing any work. Really, they should be taking over some of that responsibility. So that is where you can find grades and if there is missing work. I do also have this AR Book Find link on here. We actually do not any longer use Accelerated Reader at St. Joe's starting this year, but the Accelerated Book Reader is a really good resource if your child is looking for a book that they want to read. They can go to this advanced search, and then on the advanced search, they don't need to fill in a title, but they can fill in like their grade level, and they can say, pick something that they're interested in, like adventure, and then they can even go further, like lost or abandoned adventure, and then they can say that they want it to be fiction and in English, and then when they hit search, it will give them some book titles so that fit those interests. So that's just a good way, a good place to look for book titles that they might want to read. Okay, that is our AR book find. All right. Also, I have these classroom resources here. It's the class syllabus. So again, if you, actually all of you, I sent home a syllabus for the class and you signed it after reading it. So if you ever want to look at it again, that you can have your child bring it up on the Google Classroom page. And then book reviews we'll be talking about a little bit later. And Google Classroom Guide, they probably know how to use Google Classroom, but if they forget how to use something, there is a guide here that shows them how to turn in an assignment, how to attach a file, things like that. So that is there if they need it as well. All right, we also have a request to retest form here. And if your child scores 65% or lower on a test, they must retake the test. And in order to do so, they need to print off this request to retest form, fill it out, and then turn it in when they want to take their test. So this is just the important part here are these 3 activities they did to improve their understanding. We really want your child not to just come in and say, oh yeah, I just want to redo it, but to try to do some understanding toward the material that they missed. So maybe they met with their teacher to review, could be one of the things they would write here. Maybe they made flashcards to study, or maybe they reviewed their notes. Okay, so whatever that is, they can fill that out and then turn it into retest. All right. So I'll start with, well, just kind of the organization here. At the very top is the classwork homework tab. There's nothing in there right now, and that won't always be used. But if I ever do assign an assignment on Google Classroom, this is where they would find it, right up at the top. And they do not have to check Google Classroom every day. They should check their homework calendar every day. And I would indicate on the homework calendar if they need to find their assignment on Google Classroom. So that would be indicated there or in class or probably in both places. So that's where they would find that if they have assignments there. So spelling. Let's talk a little bit about spelling. So spelling, let's see, I'm going to grab the 7th grade book here. Each grade has this spelling connections book. This is the 7th grade one. The 6th and 8th grade ones look very similar. They're just different colors. And we have spelling every single week if the week is 4 days or more. So 3 days or fewer, we do not have spelling. And on the first day of the week, we take the pretest. They're expected to make corrections on that. That determines which list they're on, if they're on the regular list, a more challenging list, or a less challenging list. That's determined by their pretest. Then they are assigned 3 pages from the spelling book each week, and they do that in their 3-subject notebook in their spelling section. And that's due the last day of the week. So it does take a little bit of time management to make sure they get all 3 pages done before the last day of the week. So it'll be either a Thursday or Friday. And then finally, we test on the spelling words on Thursday or Friday, the last day of the week, whichever the last day is. So that spelling, so you can expect them to have a spelling lesson every single week that they should be working on for homework. I am going to show you, I do also post the spelling lists on Google Classroom page, so if they've lost theirs or if they don't have their book, they want to study, they can find that on that page as well. Okay, so that is spelling homework every week, a lesson every week, unless it's 3 days or fewer. Okay, grammar, I don't have a grammar link on here, but this year we are using a new grammar program. It's called Patterns of Power, Inviting Adolescent Writer into the Conventions of Language. So their grammar, it focuses on using grammar in their writing. So it won't be so much practicing on just specific sentence parts, but how they punctuate writing and how they use it in their writing. So most of that will be done in class. They're periodically, so at the end of each concept, they will have a piece where they must apply that concept to their writing, and that would probably go home as homework. So that would be we probably spend 6 days of instruction and then a day of application, which would probably end up being homework. So maybe every couple weeks, they will have some grammar application homework. Okay, otherwise most of that is done in class. And then for reading and writing, I incorporate writing into the reading program. So they use their reading texts as subjects for their writing. So that's where they may have homework when it comes to writing. For reading, again, most of that homework will be done in class. So for 6th grade and part of 7th grade, first trimester of 7th grade, I'm using this read side-by-side curriculum. So the class will have a class novel and then a book club novel. And for 7th and 8th grade, we do study poetry, short stories, nonfiction as well. Okay, so again, homework, most is done in class, but probably 2 to 3 times each week, they may have some homework to bring home for reading. The homework that they really do need to focus on for reading is actual reading. So they should have an independent novel that they are reading for class, and they should have that with them every day in class. Without having accelerated reader this year, I'm trying to come up with some new ways to really encourage the love of reading. So they should have a book that they have chosen that they are always reading. And since they don't have a lot of homework in the other areas of English language arts, it would be good if they read 15 to 20 minutes every night at minimum. So that's for reading. And then we don't have accelerated reader tests anymore, but they do have a book review due each trimester. They can choose from a written book review or something called a one-pager. So the written book review, I do have that on this Google Classroom page, and it's also in the classroom. So if they are looking for it, they can print one off at home. I am going to put the one-pager on here too. I haven't been able to do that yet because it's not working for some reason, so I will get that on there. But I really am hoping that you will help me encourage reading of novels that they are choosing so that we can just really increase that love of reading, which will help them in all academic areas. So that is all. I have talked for a while now. If you have any questions at any time, please don't hesitate to email me and I will get back to you within 24 hours. I'm really looking forward to a fantastic year here at St. Joe's. Thank you.